Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hi there. My name's Evan, and I am a dumb dad.
Cheers.
Cheers, dummy. Enjoy that sip of cool gravy. It's gravy in there. Tricked you.
It's not gravy.
It's not gravy. That would be gross. How are you, pal?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, we're coming up on Thanksgiving. I think when people listen to this, they'll be maybe traveling for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I will be.
You'll be traveling?
I'm traveling.
On the Tuesday that the podcast drops?
No.
Every Tuesday. Subscribe if you haven't.
I'm traveling on, early before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
But for the holiday, it's funny. We moved to California.
Oh, cool. When?
A long time ago.
Okay.
A long time ago. And we've never gone up north for Thanksgiving.
You've never been to Seattle for Thanksgiving since you've lived here?
Correct.
Wow.
Long time. I know. And my wife and I only realized that. And we're like, whoa, that's crazy. We never did that. But when you move here a long time ago and you have no money, you scrounge everything you can get together to get home once in a while.
Sure.
And for the longest time, it wasn't even every year. And then, we started doing like every other year. And that's kind of been the standard, especially with my wife's job. Like with all the people she works with, it's kind of like you switch off to where, we'll work through the holiday. The other half of the team takes it off this year. And they just kind of flip back and forth.
Yeah.
So those years we've been going back home. So we thought like, well, especially when we could only afford to go once, it was like, I'd rather go for like around Christmas and the years that we can.
Sure.
And then maybe in the summer and the other years or something like that. So if it's once a year or something like that. So we always just did a Friendsgiving here, which I always think it was such a good pivot. And if you don't know what a Friendsgiving is, it's like when
give your friends away.
You give your friends away. Yeah. And
illicit behavior and you make a nice profit.
Non-truth telling liars. So we would do it like, when you move to a city and like you don't know anybody, you start to make a bunch of friends and then nobody else can afford to travel home
if
either.
you're lucky.
Yeah. If you're lucky, you get friends.
And then you have kids and you lose them all.
Yeah.
As quickly as you found them.
Are you? And
they're like, we're at a bar after 8.
Is it like a sleeping bar?
8 a.m.? You guys shouldn't be drinking that early.
Yeah.
They're like p.m. and you're like, impossible.
How could you physically do that?
I've been yawning since 4 p.m. on. I've been yawning since the morning, but at 4 p.m. it gets tough.
Yeah. So we did the Friendsgiving. It's
great.
It's always been really fun. But we're lucky enough to get to go home this year. I'm excited about it. And so yeah, we'll see I don't know. I think it's usually probably around the day or the day before or day after where the holiday travel seems to get a little insane, but
it's not great. It's not going to be a breeze for you and your family. You're bringing 2 children. Traveling alone, who cares how busy it is? Really? I mean that. I know that there's unless there's delays to your flight, that always sucks. But I mean, traveling alone, it's just a luxury. It's
so
just, you're on kind of your time.
This is the guy who was like, I need friends.
But when you don't have them,
you've convinced yourself traveling alone
when
is
you've
great.
made peace with it, like I have. I've made great peace with it. I drive in silence because I'm my own best friend. I'd like to chat with myself, get to know myself. I can go a long time.
Well, hey, speaking of chatting with yourselves, we had parent-teacher conference this week.
Yeah?
Parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing them. We were hearing other people. I've been seeing it on the social media that other people are also doing parent-teacher. I'm like, is this a week for it?
Surprised based on your school picture scenario, you guys didn't do them just like the second week of school.
Again,
they're just getting a lot of stuff over with.
Again, they're not going to have multiple photographers, Evan.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Here's your yearbook. Well, they are cruising through the year.
We had AI generate what we thought the rest of the year will be like.
So far, a little chaotic.
My kid is in TK, and he had a parent-teacher conference that I was reluctant to go to say the least.
You got to go.
I went.
Yeah.
I had it today. Happy to go. But here's my thing. When it's like that young, when it's TK, if there is a problem with my child, I'm going to probably get a call that day. Other than that, I probably don't need to know about it. Do you know what I mean? Because like TK, what are we doing? They're not going to be like.
He's showing real promise in his penmanship.
He plagiarized his book report. Like, what are we doing here?
Chews with his mouth open a lot. I got a 2 on that one.
That's what I mean.
What's happening?
It was nice. The teacher's great, and we sat down, and she was like, "I don't have a lot to say," and I was like, "Why would you?"
Yeah,
because
again,
if you did, it would be a phone call. Like he's biting all of the children.
Yeah, you got to come get him.
Get him.
We got him on a side of a table right now. He seems to be gnawing on that. Okay,
Yeah.
but otherwise, if he gets a hold of one of the kids again, you got to get over here.
We took that mask off that Hannibal Lecter decoration I kept on my lawn for Halloween. He's wearing it right now. Come get him.
What a reference!
Yeah, I have my daughters later in the week, so
that's got a little bit more oomph to it.
That's got some
teeth
oomph to it. That's what I mean. She's in 2nd grade. There's gonna be some stuff to talk about, or not. If she's doing okay, and that's great. But I found the TK thing funny to me. I was
It's
like,
pretty
all right,
funny.
let's.
It fits nicely into the category of elementary school homework.
Yeah.
Like, okay, is this kind of like because we've always done it this way?
Which I talked to a mom about the other day, whose son has been in every class my daughter has been in. So they were in kindergarten, 1st grade, now 2nd grade together. And we were talking, and she goes, homework's not bad this year. I feel like was it more last year or the year before? And I was like, kindergarten? Are you asking if it was more in kindergarten, the homework? And she was like, yeah, am I wrong? And I went, no, you're not. It was more. It was 3 sheets.
Yeah.
And 4 sheets and 3 iPad assignments a day.
Every day.
And she was like, oh, yeah, they only get like 1 sheet now. And I was like, yeah, because they're in 2nd grade. What were we doing in kindergarten? What were we doing?
What were we? I thought we signed up for something different.
But did you get like dragged across? What is it? Dragged across the coals? Like
No,
what
no,
happened? You're a parent teacher conference.
It was so funny. Like
Spend less time making TikToks and parent your child.
Yeah. The whole time I'm just like praying that they're not going to be like, by the way.
By the way, I've seen your page. Not excited. Oh.
Yeah. It's cute. It's really cute that you can do that. So about your son. Yeah, he I think we talked about it before. Same thing, just like me when he's a kid. Loves to chat.
He's a chatter?
He's a chatter. He's a popular guy. But they always
So that was you when you were a kid?
Yeah.
How cool.
No, not
Popular
that way.
guy.
Not like that.
That's exactly what you said. All right.
Again,
this goes back to me not having friends. Okay, I don't relate to you.
I don't mean to twist the knife, Kevin. I was prom king. I think it was a joke. My son, yeah.
Were you prom king?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
And ever since, I mean, I was pretty sure it was a joke. Never got really a final.
Why was it? Why do you think it was a joke?
Because there was like so many more people cooler than I was. And they didn't become prom king, and I did.
You know what? I need more.
I don't know.
You got nominated.
Yeah, I got nominated.
And did you get picked at the prom? I don't remember how it goes.
I don't remember either.
That's how it is in the movies.
I don't remember.
There's like Jesse Goldman, and he's like, me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I know. I did. I got. Here's the thing, though. When you go to prom, and they're like, they make this huge announcement of who's going to win prom king.
Change your life forever.
I didn't. I considered it to be definitely somebody else who was going to win. I wasn't really bothered by not winning, which I was not going to do, let alone who it was going to be. And we were dancing for so long. I was like, I'm just going to go sit by the table. So I went and sat by the table. It was like, I went and got a cold, Pepsi or whatever they offered at prom.
Yeah. Better
and
than a warm Pepsi.
Went down over there sat with my girlfriend, my wife now, my girlfriend. And we were just like sitting at the table thinking like, who's it going to be?
And then they picked you.
And they picked me, and everyone was like, "Where the hell is he?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like sitting at this table.
You were just gassed and sweaty.
Yeah, looked just a mop head and just So it was hilarious because I was very surprised and was just like, "Okay."
And the whole student body voted, or is it just a select group?
I don't
the
know.
podcast
I
is over.
literally
We're just
don't
talking
know. The
about
podcast. I literally don't know. I literally don't remember. I don't even remember. Honestly, don't even remember if it was like, here's all the people that have been nominated. But it also might have been like 50 people. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
Like you got nominated by one person. You're nominated. Like, I don't know.
Evan Berger, prom king.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't roll off the tongue nor sound like something that could be true.
Who was prom queen? Whoops.
Well, I know her name. I don't want to say it out loud.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't your wife.
It was not my wife. No, she
no.
was in college at the time.
Oh, okay.
It's always kind of weird. I was younger than her in school in terms of grades.
But you're
like
older
when I
now.
met her, I was a junior and she was a senior, but I'm older than she is. So when I got put in, like,
well, you are older than she is.
I am. Yes, I'm older than she is by like 4 months.
Because you stayed back because you were Chatty Cathy.
No, because I was so shy.
What did you stay back in? Kindergarten?
I was a little shy. Yeah, kindergarten, because it was like I was either going to be like the oldest kid or like the very, very, very youngest kid, depending on when I went in. I was on the cusp, and I was kind of shy. My mom was like, "There's really no point in just give another year." So I did preschool.
Little mouse another
Didn't
run.
do TK back then.
Oh, that sucks because that's like you had to do kindergarten again. That's where all the homework is.
Yeah.
So that's tough. You had to do that twice.
So I didn't get held back. It was just like right on the cusp, you know, and it's like, you know, we kind of had that this year. I mean, I guess last year when we had like preschool, it was like, oh, he could go. I think it was because your son, right? He could have gone into TK. He also could have done preschool for another year.
No, he was on the cusp of TK or ETK.
Of ETK. Yeah.
ETK was created to
so
accommodate the 4-year-olds.
Yeah, and you kind of make the decision. Well, he's going to be kind of young if he goes there, but I think he can handle it. He's mature enough to handle it and listen to somebody. Like
I love
that kind of thing.
That boy with everything I am.
Yeah.
I would never say that sentence. He's mature enough to handle it.
I wasn't using him as an example. I was I was saying he's
I've never said that about him. Never. I love him so much. He's my world. It's my little heart, but nope, never. Won't do it.
So anyway, just funny that it was like, yep, same note. Okay, that's fine. Expected it. Bright kid. You know, likes to talk with his friends. Gets a little distracted at times. Sometimes he can even get distracted sitting there by himself. So I have to rein him back in a little bit. That's what she's telling us, which is all fine. It all sounds very familiar to how I went to school. So interesting because you start to think about like, okay, does he have a disorder? Maybe not. Still probably pretty early to even find that out or know. And
do you think he's networking to be prom king? That's what it is.
I just knew that was coming back.
There it is. That's why you did it. You were networking.
I didn't even mean to say that.
You were networking for 4 years.
No, I didn't even mean to say that. I was going to come back to bite me in the ass really hard, I think.
It's just the title of the episode. That's all. What are we doing? Handled. Thank you to Annie, our editor, and you're welcome.
And so what's funny about it is like our two children have such different personalities. My daughter is very much a little more reserved. She like cannot stand to get something wrong, gets so upset with herself, puts so much pressure on herself. She accidentally does like part of her homework wrong, in which case it's practice at home with pencil and you can erase it. She's still like in tears if she gets something wrong. She just like holds herself to like this very high standard. Not super assertive when it's like a lot of eyes are on her. So she's will quiet down. We've discussed before. She doesn't like people singing her happy birthday or anything like that. Like that does not happen in her little world. Do not do that. She's a very good listener.
Always funny.
Yeah.
We never discuss how upset she gets when kids sing happy birthday. And I don't think her getting upset is funny. But what is funny is all the other kids around her who are like, I mean, it's chaos in their brains because you have to say to them, all right, guys, we're going to her birthday party. It's going to be so fun. And then we get there and they're playing. They're like, here's the cake. Shut the fuck up, everyone.
Yeah, don't even look at her, actually.
Nobody
just here's your cake.
Sing a note.
It goes from like, we're doing cake to here's a piece. Would you like a slice? Would you like a slice? It's just like, where's all the...
Kids are like, I haven't earned it yet.
Where's the hoopla?
I have to sing for cake. Everyone knows you sing for cake. That's how it works.
Where's the theatrics? I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't like it. So what was funny about it is that we were sitting outside the classroom waiting for whoever was the other parent to finish their conference before we went in. And my wife and I were sitting there and we were kind of like, we could just save her a bunch of time and go in there and go, let me guess.
Sure.
She's a good listener. She does what you ask. She stays on task. Pretty upset with herself if she has a mistake. Doesn't speak up too much, but will. It was just like, and then we went in there, and it was like essentially how it got laid out.
Yeah.
It was funny. She used her as one of my very good little examples when everyone is like, when the kids are just like at about an 11, she's still sitting there very much like listening because I was told to sit here and listen. Just very interesting how you kind of know your kids' personalities. So you kind of know a little bit what's coming. I'm really more interested to see what the class, because we're not really allowed on campus very much, unless you're a volunteer or whatever. We don't go in for wandering around and picking up in the classroom or anything like that. So it's like fun to sit in their little chair and, see a little bit of the progress. And so,
yeah, I just want to say as a volunteer, you still can't wander around.
Correct.
Yeah, just sign in and start floating through classrooms.
Even with a visitor badge, it's
You'll
pretty obvious when like
creep.
you need the bathroom and they're like, "Would you like some help?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just don't know where the bathroom is." Because I'm like,
you look in the bathrooms of an elementary school and you go, I can't go in these ones.
"Yeah, I don't. How do you go to the bathroom here?"
Yeah, depend the grown-up ones. I think the first time I had to take one of my kids to the bathroom at the school, they were like, "Let's go," and I took one step and went, "Ha, nope, I get it." Like, just looked in and was like, "Nope." I'm 6'3". Most of the world is too tiny for me.
Yeah, the stall's gonna be up to your belt buckle.
But this is something's wrong here. They're taking the shrink ray in this room.
Are the toilets sinking into the floor?
I will say that my sons I did it again. I talked about it. Was it last week? Whatever. On one of the previously on Dumb Dad podcast, I talked about how I made a joke that fell flat at the dentist office, and I did it again today. But it was honestly more for me this time. Like it was 80% for me, 20% for the teacher if she wanted to.
It's fun when it's for you because it's funny either way. If they laugh along with you, it's fun. If they give you silence, even better.
Even better. Because they were just like, poor guy. Then I don't get it.
And you're like, ha ha ha.
This
is great.
I went into my son's classroom, and for those who don't have kids in school yet, the kids aren't with you. Ideally, if you have to, you can bring them. But ideally, you go without the kids so that the teachers can be like, "What a nightmare."
Yeah.
Don't like him. Don't like your kid.
I've thought about punching him so many times.
We're a handful of months. We're a handful of months in, handful of months out. Okay, let's just do it.
You and I got to figure out how to just get through this.
But
okay?
TK, it's TK/Kinder for my son's class, and his teacher is pretty short, and so we walk in, and she's seated at one of the children's tables in
proportionately
a child's chair, and she welcomes me in
and tells you to have a seat,
and she's like, "Have a seat," and these chairs are so small.
Uh-oh.
And when it was orientation, they definitely had the big chairs somewhere. They didn't this time. I sat in again, 6'3".
How did you do it? Did you AC Slater it? Did you flip it around backwards? Did you just take a knee and kind of lean on the chair?
I sat down and I was like, "Bilbo Baggins, I have a journey for you." No.
And your knees were higher than your ears?
I sat down and I went, "Okay." Real loud for fun. And she was like, followed by, "Okay, thank you for coming in." And I was like, nothing.
Is my face not red?
Yeah.
Because I can't breathe.
Sorry, let me move my knees. I can't see you. There you are. Side saddle.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, let's jump into the Dumb Dad moment of the week. And here's why. You reminded me when you just said that. It didn't hurt. You were like, you're going to hurt yourself.
I didn't hurt myself.
Didn't hurt yourself. I also am celebrating this evening for not hurting myself. My son is wrapping up soccer season, and this weekend we're not going to make it, but it's his final game. And so tonight was, because I think it's going to rain, which is a whole nother thing. It was so funny. They're like, it's going to maybe rain. So if it's even raining a little bit, we're not going to practice on Thursday. And if it rains on the weekend for the game's just canceled. And I was like, the weather that I played soccer in when I was a kid. And they're like, if it's sprinkling, we're not playing.
Yeah, man.
Like, what? I mean, I remember playing when I was a kid, and it's like there's puddles on the field.
Oh, uphill both ways.
And the kids would the ball would go in there, and it would take 6 tries to kick it out because it's a ball in a puddle. And thinking and we're just, now the thing is, we loved it. When you're playing like that as a kid, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. But they're like, if it's sprinkling, we better just be safe and stay home.
We're in Los Angeles. People are going to
I know.
They're going to sue.
It's so...
They're going to sue.
I was embarrassed when he said it. Wait, what? Anyway, so potentially tonight was the last event of the whole thing, if there's weather. And it was parents versus kids soccer match. That's what the practice was.
And you're proud of yourself?
Because I didn't hurt myself. I played all 90 minutes. I played the full match, however long that was. I think it was 2 15-minute halves, however they split it up. We didn't play a 90-minute match.
You just started with, I played the whole match, followed by, it was a broken half hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, there was quite a few parents out there huffing and puffing, but
I don't believe you weren't if you said I played the whole match with a little twinkle in your eye.
It was hilarious because the parents, for the most part, just kind of stood around and spread out, which is what you try to yell at the kids to do all year long. But they still all just run and chase the ball as a group, kick it at each other. It squirts out to one kid. Maybe they shoot it. That's the tactic. But the parents are kind of just standing around within enough distance at each other.
How much gear did you have on?
0. I wore a Liverpool jersey.
Okay.
So, and we all did. Except for my son. He had a Liverpool shirt on, and then he was like, I'm going to wear my soccer jersey. I'm going to wear my team jersey, which was good because that's pretty much what every other kid did. So,
yeah, it wasn't on your team.
Then he wouldn't. Yeah, couldn't be on my team. But it was hilarious. It was fun. Got a good run around. Had a couple good passes, and it was fun. And I didn't hurt myself. I felt like I got close. Not in the match, but when you do that,
kick?
Well, this one mom was like, "All right, parents, let's do some stretching, please." And I was
okay.
"Oh yeah, she's smart. Let's stretch. I don't care if this looks stupid. We're gonna stretch. I'm stretching." So I stretched, and
Good job.
then we played, and then it was pretty cold. It was a little breezy, chilly evening.
Oh my God, we should have canceled.
Yeah, and but they had pizza afterwards, and then they had a little awards ceremony where they stood up and said something about each kid, and handed them a little fun bag and their medal and that kind of stuff. So that was cool. I will, however, say, went from playing to then just going and sitting down on a cold aluminum bench, and about 20 minutes later, I was like, I can feel my legs seizing, so I'm gonna get up and walk around for a minute. So
that's how you get hemorrhoids.
Yeah. So for a while, I was like, I'm gonna keep getting up and walking around because it was I could feel my body's we're done running now. Okay, let's lock this. Let's lock it down. So it was close. It was close to limping.
Well,
out of the
here's
car
the thing:
when I
you're
got
proud
out
of
of it.
yourself, but this was today.
Yeah.
Let's talk tomorrow. All right, let's not call the game early.
It's true, but I didn't roll my ankle. I didn't.
If you can get
that's
out,
what I was waiting on.
If you can get out of bed with putting your ear to your shoulder in the morning, all right, then it's a success.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well, enough burying the lead. Who won?
The parents won.
Yeah.
It was
by how much?
Well,
you animals.
You tell me, almost nothing, because it was tied. It was a draw after two, whatever. They played it was kind of I don't know, whoever said, I think their coach was all right, 15 minutes, go. And then we did halftime, water break, another 15 minutes, and then it was still tied 3-3, I think. 2-2
you were
or 3.
screaming about the stoppage clock.
2 or 3-3, and I was extra time. I mean, we needed VIR to get step in a couple times, and we didn't have access to it.
I bet.
And then he was all right, 3 more minutes. All right, come on, 2 more. Okay, 3. So we probably played another 10 minutes trying to get somebody to score, and no one scored. So it ended 2-2 or 3-3 or whatever it was. And they were okay. I was all right, so it's penalties, right? Right to penalties. Which would have been a terrible idea.
Broken a couple noses.
Just full force shot at a kid and a goal.
Good
luck.
You hit him right in the chest. He goes into the net with the ball.
Right.
Still counts.
That's right. So they decided we did we were kind of playing quarter field. So from halfway, It was like, and we were playing on these like little like the pop-up nets, you know, that you would like. So
Yeah.
I think obviously it would have been a much bigger score if it was like if it was full field, everyone's gassed, and then just the wide open nets. So we decided to kick from halfway. Like the first person to make it hits. The coach is hilarious. He's like, the first team to miss it loses, and it was like, this is like a 40-yard pass. You're trying to make it in like a 4-foot wide goal. Like first person that makes it's gonna win.
Yeah.
So we traded off going back and forth, and eventually one of the moms on our team buried it right in the center. So we got the final victory.
So you won.
The
kids cry?
Ton of them listen. No,
No,
but they were like.
Did you guys give them all the finger?
It was so funny.
On
A
the
couple of the
sidelines?
kids, they gave us our team name, which was I think the Stinky Cats or something like that.
Okay.
And then they were egging us on the whole time, and while we were playing and everything. And then it was all about like they were trying to like step in front of the goal while we're trying to do this like long pass to see who's going to win the game, as if it mattered that much. And the kids were trying to step in and block it. We're like, no, you can't block it. And they're like, that's what you're going to do. They knew. They just kept figured like the parents are cheating somehow.
No, that's it.
It's like, no way. I mean, they played like 7, how many matches this year? 7, 8 matches or whatever, and only lost 1. So they knew they were pretty good. If we were playing on the bigger field with the full-size goals, there's a good chance we would have gotten beat, because there's a couple kids on their team that can like dribble around a bunch of people and score goals. So like they would have just been like fireworks.
How does it feel to be that age?
Not great. You know, I didn't. Here's what's so funny about this. I'm definitely at the age. I remember seeing like my dad to get to a certain age where it's like he's not just, you know, he's not like full out 100% anymore. You know,
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to go 100% against kids either. But even like sprinting is like, who sprints? Sprinting?
There's two stages of it, I think. I think it's like you being like making up concessions. Who runs anymore? It's for dorks.
Yeah.
And then there's also where like your wife is calling like, Evan, all right.
Take it easy.
You haven't played in a long time. And those stretching 4 seconds max. So you got to do 8 to 12. Come on.
Yeah, it was so funny too, because I mean, there's like kids they're like, you know, 8-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a bunch of little kids around.
Yeah.
So thankfully we didn't have that one dad who's there or whatever that's like kind of going at full tilt a little bit.
Yeah. No, I wanted that. That's what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah, but you're just nervous about it. So I'm also conscious about like running around because there's kids everywhere. I was so nervous I was gonna like turn around and not look to like intercept a ball or something like that and just like plow into some kid, you know, it wouldn't be good.
No, because then you have to fall down too, pretend you're injured.
Yeah.
Till someone gets a card, then you get up.
Yeah. So, it was wild. It was hilarious. So the whole time you're thinking like, to what degree can you like ramp it up a little bit to try to help us score goals, but also you can't go too hard. You gotta tone it down a little bit. So it was a nice little jog, run around, pass the ball around. It was fun. And both my Achilles are still attached, and nobody had to bring out the paddles. So overall, whatever the score was, it was going to end up as a win.
Great. Oh, I'm happy for you. We'll check in tomorrow.
I'm going to check in tomorrow. Maybe if I think about it, which I won't, because I'll be so sore.
I know.
I'll post a story about it.
You're gonna wake up
2
in
days
the middle
removed
of the night with one of those calf seizures where you don't know what to do because you're so tired. And the answer is just to stand up, but you try stretching it in the bed like an idiot. And then you walk in.
I try to get out of the bed and pull something in my neck because.
But you're doing it as quietly as possible because you don't want to wake your wife. And then she's probably awake, like, drink water.
I saw you stretch.
Yeah.
If that's what you called that.
Yeah, God. You need
Is that what you think
fluids to go in between the muscles. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You watch the guys that are 23 years old playing professional elite English football.
Oh, where they're skipping down the field.
Warm up for like 90 minutes. You stretched for 4 and you're twice their age. Good luck out there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll check in tomorrow. We'll see how you're doing. My dumb dad moment, Also about a physical trek, but not really involving me. Involving me, but I'm not the concern. So my wife and your wife went to a spa this past weekend.
Yep.
And it was funny because my wife has been to a spa before. But I think this is the first time she went. Yeah, it was the first time she went where it was just like, I was like, when can I expect you? And it just shoulders up. I don't know. It's just a full day.
Like how long she's going to be gone.
Yeah, I was like, obviously.
When can I expect you?
When is this single parent stuff over? No, I was like, obviously go as long as you want. If you want to go out to lunch, whatever. She was like, I don't know when I'll be done. I was like, great, no problem. I was just curious.
I don't know how much work they're going to have to do.
I'm just telling you.
I don't know what they're going to do to me.
I'm just telling you, they'll be in bed by 5.
Yeah.
So if you want to see them, be back before then.
I'm going to make it easy on myself around here.
Yeah. So she left.
We're all going to have a glass of wine at 4:30.
We're having Italian because kids can drink whenever.
Yep.
And
that's how they do it over in Europe.
That's how they do it. And we're going to have a glass of wine. They're all going to go to bed. And so anyway, she goes to the spa, and I was just, it's one of those situations when you are stuck with the children. You got options. You can just go screen time bonanza.
You heard that, everybody?
Until
stuck with the children. That's what he said. Stuck with them.
It's 100% what it is. What are we doing?
When you have the pleasure of imparting your uninterrupted wisdom.
I was a stay-at-home parent for 4 years, and then COVID for 3.
I had my shot.
I haven't missed anything. Okay, I'm not gonna look back and regret. Okay, I checked the boxes. I'll be in the photos. They'll remember me when I'm gone. Stuck with the children, so love them dearly. Again, not mature enough. So, but when you have that situation, it's like, okay, we could stay home and figure something out later because it was Saturday. It's an important factor. Is that like we have no sports Saturday. We have nothing going on.
Yeah.
Mom's got the car. We're a single car family. So it's like we are pretty locked into this area. But I had an idea of doing something we'd never done before. Already bad idea. It's a bad idea to do something.
Let's try something we've never done before.
And
it's just me.
And you don't have access to get to the urgent care without an ambulance.
I was going to say, you have access in a big, shiny red truck that makes a lot of noise.
It's just a shoulder shrug of whether or not they carry your insurance. That's right. Always thinking about the money. Be the dad. Be the dad.
So we turned the AC off and we headed off on our adventure.
So there's a... I know. It's like, do I just let them have screens until their bodies are like... just like charged with energy till they're going to explode? Or do you just like try to get in front of it and then, depending on the rest of the day, we'll do screens later. So I chose the latter. I was like, let's
get in front of it.
Do something. So I had this idea and they were amenable to it, which was already scary. There is a playground that's about 1.25 miles from our house.
And your children's ages are
26 and 4. There's a gap. No, it's a 4 and 7. And so I was like, hey guys, what would you think if we went for a walk to Blue Park? Because again, playgrounds are not, they name parks. They don't have to. It's a waste of wood and painting and designing. They always have these nice plaques. It's called Evan Berger Park, named after the dumb dad who played a 30-minute soccer game with minimal stretching. And
was prom king.
And was prom king. That's what the side picture is. His prom king photo.
The thing is, like, if you saw it, I don't know what that photo is, but the high school picture of me would be like, do you think they just read somebody else's name wrong? Or
name's Berger. I don't think so. Everybody knew. Everybody knows your name.
That's true. You can't really shy away from that.
You can't. So I was like, guys, do you guys want to take a walk to Blue Park? And both of them were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Like, figured it out on the first try. Like, that's awesome. Let's. Do
you guys know what a mile is?
Yeah, it's 1.25 miles. So we'd never walked there before. I know it was doable because My sister-in-law has walked to that park many times, and it's about the same distance, like a tiny bit less, but it's about the same distance.
It's like 7,000 feet.
Yeah, sure. Everybody knows that.
Well, a mile's like 5,200, 5,600. So you just add a quarter to that about. It's like 7,000.
All right. Cool. It's fun facts on the Dumb Dad podcast.
I just want to illustrate how many steps your children had to take.
It was definitely more than that. It was definitely more than that.
They didn't walk in a dead straight line.
Well, here's what happened. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna pack for the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna get a backpack. The zombies have taken over.
Uh-huh.
Fill this bag. You know, fill it with just all the snacks and the lunch and
Rations,
ice
water.
packs and wipes and a change of clothes, water bottles. Your water bottle, knowing you're not going to get to drink it because they're going to drink all theirs on the walk there, and then they're going to get to the playground play, and then I need water. And you're not going to give them the water fountain water. You've seen too many horrible things happen to that thing, so they're going to drink your water. So I was like, all right, let's go. So my daughter... So already it's like you're risking something. I will say my sister-in-law, when she takes her kids who are younger, she's got a little wagon. She pulls them in. So it's great for her. They'll walk for a little bit and get tired and hop in. My kids are past that age. Like the stroller's long gone, and we don't have one of those wagons.
Yeah.
So my daughter's like, can we go? Can I skateboard there? She's been skateboarding. And I was like, you know what? We have all of the time. So sure. And then my son was like, can I use my scooter there? And I was like, yeah. I'm going to walk.
And by me saying yes, I just realized we might not make it to the park.
That's fine. Because the goal is not their happiness. It's bedtime.
Their tiredness.
It's their tiredness.
Is the goal.
And finishing the day.
Because they'll admit they can't make it to the park. We can't make it there. Oh, okay.
I get to pretend I was an active parent. And it was like, Saturday, we did some stuff. So
as you slowly walk behind them going, watch for driveways, please.
It was both. So we went on this, journey to Middle Earth. It was just such a long walk. It was so long there. We were about a third of the way in, which is like the no turning back zone. And my son is going, how far is it? And I was like, we're still on our block. We're still I can see your school still. And we have a long way to go. And he's like, oh, okay. He's given up using the scooter. But, and this is a win, he's still pulling it. It's just, now he's walking with it. So now we're going slower than... we needed to
As
go.
if he was using the scooter.
Because if he was walking, he'd be going at a good pace, or he'd be running every once in a while. If he's going scooter, he'd be zipping. But now he's just like holding this thing and letting it wheel next to him. Oh, and we're just doing this the whole way. While my daughter, who's dabbling in skateboarding, is either actually hitting a crack and falling and hitting the ground, or she's just bailing out of fear. Because she hasn't quite mastered turning, which is fine. It's a lot of, go straight, stop, let's turn, and then go straight for a while. So that was 16 hours of my day getting there. So
but you made it.
Yeah, we made it in February, and we got there, we played, and then... So this is it's all a collective dumb dad moment. Not one particular thing happened. The walk there was awful. Just a nightmare. Luckily, my daughter wears a ton of gear because she was also roller skating before that. So her falls were all for anybody wondering, they're non-issues. She's got the wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads. So her fall every time is a helmet falling. She's just just gets up and keeps going.
Yeah, it's hard to skate with all this stuff on.
We get there, and this is probably where I look like the jerk parent, because it was just all right, guys, let's get you guys dressed. And I've got them dressed. What are those shoes? We're going to go for 1.25 miles. Those are sandals. We're not wearing those. Let's get the shoes on. Get socks on too. I love the shoes. I love that you have shoes. We're gonna put socks on because 1.25 miles. I mean,
layers are gonna come off the bottom of your feet if you don't put socks on.
you're gonna have those those bubbles with cartoon lava that are about to pop. You're gonna have those all over your feet. I need you to get socks on. Let's get dressed. Okay, great. I'm going to pack all the food. I'm going to do all that. Now let's go for a walk. And it is that. It's so much anxiety. We had to cross 4 major intersections, and none of them were fun. It was like every time we passed the intersection, that's when my son, and I get it. It's one of those things where you're annoyed as a parent, but you get why he's excited. That's when he wants to get on the scooter. Because it's so cool. There's big cars everywhere, and there's danger. And I was like, yeah, there's danger everywhere. And cars want to turn right or left depending where you are. And that was the worst. There's nothing worse than just yelling at your kids so they don't just get run over.
Yes, because they contextualize no part of what's happening.
Gentle parenting is off the table when we're crossing the street. It is survive or die. It's let's get you there. I'm not gonna.
Might as well
I
be.
can see you doing this.
Yeah.
And get across the road, or I'm gonna carry you.
It might as well be.
You have
like
3 seconds to comply.
Raging river full of crocodiles, but you have to get to the other side, and it's just you and your family.
It's a mix of you not trusting any of the drivers and you not trusting your children, and honestly not really trusting your own parenting. I mean, none of it's good. There's not a good in your brain. Nothing's good right now.
So the thing that's good is how loud and clear it is that you can hear your own voice saying, do you guys want to walk to the blue park?
Yeah. Here's a good idea. Let's
said it out loud, presented it as a fun option for the day.
Now I've also planted that seed. That's a thing for them to do. They didn't know that existed.
Yeah, exactly. You could do it again now.
We could have taken a walk around the block. We could have gone to the school parking lot and had it's Saturday, nobody's there. Could have practiced skateboarding.
You could have learned to juggle knives and probably still not risked quite as much danger.
My heart would have been less damaged from all the clogs. But we get there, and I'm just so excited to be on my phone, sitting on a bench, and my kids just really wanted to play with me. And I've never wanted their love less. I wanted them to leave me alone. I just wanted a break so bad. And my son was like, let's play hide and seek. And then my daughter was like, can I also join? And I think she didn't. Did I bring a ball? I don't know. It's a long day. And they both just wanted to play with me. So we played for a while. And then I was trying to usher them oh, look, there's other children. And then we played for a while. And then I have to the dumb dad moment is all of it. Because then it's we have to go. Because we have to leave in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made that up.
If we want to get home before dark.
That's why. Because we had been there for an hour and a half. And they were still having a great time. And I've never done this before either, as well as they haven't. But all I know is that we all have to walk home.
Yeah.
So I need you to not be gassed.
So you walked all the way there.
Yeah.
And then they played. For 90 minutes.
So I'm going to, guys, when I say it's time to leave, you're not going to want to, and that's understandable. But I need the energy that you still have when it's time to go. What I don't want is you laying on the ground, speaking to my youngest, where he does that thing where his head is on the ground with his body and he's just rolling a car by his eyes.
Because he's I wish I was sleeping right now.
Yeah.
But I'm awake and I'm in a park.
I also brought cars, little cars from to play with. I think I did bring a ball. I mean, I went for it. But it was
almost brought enough to just live there without having to walk back.
I had told my wife what I was doing. I said, have so much fun. Come back whenever you come back. Be prepared to pick us up at a playground after dark.
I was going to say, how many times did you text her going, no pressure? But have you guys, is it kind of feels like you're out of there soon? Has anybody kind of mentioned it?
No pressure. We've fashioned a shelter.
Bit of a lean-to on the side of the public restroom. There was an occupant here before.
Unfortunately, there's no warmth coming from the fluorescent lights, and they're blinking, and they're freaking the kids out. So I think the spiders are coming out soon, so if you could get here. No, I didn't pressure her with text at all because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want her to ever like even get that like hint of guilt. And it was honestly fine. But then when it was time to go, that was where like that was the end of the dumb dad moment, was having to leave, because that couldn't have gone better. That was like because I think the kids knew the distance, where before that they were like they knew because we'd driven there a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But they were pretty lost on the walk. They were like, this is taking so long. And then the way back
get to fun.
The way back was pretty fine. There was still 4 major intersections, and again crocodiles and psychos behind the car and children that for some reason I think are just gonna juke right for no reason into traffic. I don't know what that is about parenting. Like, which kids, even your kids are your distracted son. He's not just gonna plow out into
just
the
jump
open
into the road.
But you, in that moment, you don't trust him. You don't know him. You have a job to keep him alive. And
well, I've seen him do a lot of other stuff without thinking. So
maybe
there's a big long list of that.
Because you don't want to be wrong, and
don't want to be wrong. So it just is hangs out, high anxiety, high alert situation, and it's emotionally exhausting as well. I know what you mean. Well, you want to go sit on the bench and look at your phone because you're like you're sort of emotionally exhausted. Like, oh man, that just felt like that was probably not a great decision to walk here. Mm-hmm. I paid for it in heart health. I lost a couple of years there, going through the intersections, not feeling great about it, getting really nervous, trying to keep them out of the road, like all that stuff. Then you get there and it's like, okay, I just need to just come off of that for a second.
Yeah, then play hide and seek, and I was like, now you want to play a game where you disappear in a public park after all the screaming you just did.
Pass.
But we made it home, and then they had screen time until we all passed out. I mean, we got home close to dark. I think I brought an extra battery from my phone.
What a great dumb dad moment that if you probably, once your son first started complaining about 200 feet from your house, you thought, yeah, here it comes.
Uh-huh.
And then it just kept coming.
Bit earlier.
And coming.
Bit earlier than I wanted, but not unexpected.
Yeah.
Let's just get through this.
Stay tuned for that press conference this week. So you decided to walk to the local library. Yeah. That was a mistake.
Not my best choice. Did get some energy out, but cardiologist is not going to be happy.
Yeah. Once we were pot committed. Yeah. I undid any of the walking health I did for myself by putting myself through stresses going through. We had to cross a freeway.
My mom is a cardiac nurse, and she does stress tests, and they get on a treadmill, and it gets increasingly more difficult. And I'm kind of like, we didn't have an incline, but it was stressful.
Yeah.
Was it anything like that?
Are you supposed to feel it?
Yeah.
I could feel it.
But we got through it. I mean, it's fine.
You got through it.
But it was another dumb dad moment. We survived.
You were stressed out beyond belief because of how much you care, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And the listeners know that about you.
I'm nothing if not a fuzzy, loving person.
Which is interesting. You don't have any friends because you truly are a warm and kind guy.
I think people are scared to share their feelings. I'm so open. I'm such an open book that everybody's like, oof, I couldn't.
I'm a saloon.
That's too many feelings.
I'm a saloon door. It swings in and out both ways.
I'm afraid if I'm friends with them, I'll share stuff I've never shared with anybody. I think that's what people are scared of. And, they're probably right.
That's true. When I first met you, the first thing you asked me was, how often do you go to the bathroom? Like, how many times a day? Mm-hmm. I'm Kevin, by the way. And I was like, this guy.
And you were like, man, I was going to lead with the prom king thing, but I guess I'll tell him about my bathroom habits. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. If you haven't, you can watch full episodes of it on YouTube. We are at The Dumb Dads. That is our handle on YouTube, TikTok, X, whatever that is, Instagram, Threads, if we're still doing that. But check out our Instagram and our TikTok pages. You can also DM us on Instagram or email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com. If you want to tell us your dumb parenting moments, what was some of your nightmare playground treks or times you played sports with your kids and went a little too crazy.
Especially speaking of stress, headed into this time of year, we're all going to have some pretty good dumb parenting moments, I think, headed our way. Dealing with the rest
we are. If you're listening to this, please travel safe. If you're traveling for the holiday, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. And thanks to Ed Verdu on SoundCloud for the music for this podcast. And thanks as always to our editor and producer, my incredible wife, Annie, for editing this podcast.
And happy birthday, Verdu. It's his birthday the other day.
Happy birthday, Verdu.
What a guy.
I heard a joke.
Oh, you have one? Good, because I couldn't even find one out of that book.
I heard it on TikTok. You guys can share this with your kids. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yoda lady.
Yoda lady who?
Stop yodeling. Jeez.
Stop yodeling.
Yeah, Yoda lady who. That'll do it for the Dumb Dad Podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?